everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. Okay, I'm gonna be real for like a hot moment. I'm like super fangirling over here because I'm so excited to have Satanic here today. So thank you so much for coming today.
No problem. I'm super excited to be here and chat about whatever you want to talk about The Sims. And yeah, no.
Yeah, no, of course. I'm just so I think it was like a year ago that it was Car that was like, hey, like you need to
Yes.
check out you. And I know you did the same with me. And I was
Yep.
like, oh my God. So I've been following you for
Yeah.
like slightly Instagram stalking you for a year. Not creepy. I live in
Nice.
a different
Yeah,
country.
no,
So
that's okay.
it's cool. But no, I'm so excited that you are
You
here
do lots of
today.
great stuff, so
Oh,
it's
thank
been
you.
great to be able to connect.
Well, thank you so much. Well, now that you're flattering me over here, just I don't even know what I'm going to say. Why don't we start off with a little bit of, tell us a little bit about yourself and your Sims history.
Okay. Well, in general, I've played since Sims 1, so I've played forever. I have like the CDs from the original Sims games and all the expansions and stuff. So I played those. Growing up, I'm not that young, so it's like probably older than I look. But yeah, I played through those Sims 2, Sims 3, and then Sims 4 when it came out. Like I I love Sims 3 a lot. And
Hmm.
so when Sims 4 came out, I kind of didn't jump ship right away. I
Yeah.
stayed on Sims 3 for a few years before I finally switched over to Sims 4. I was like, okay, fine, everyone's doing it. But I even streamed Sims 3 a lot a few years, like in 2017 and 18, I think. So it wasn't until after that that I actually played The Sims 4 more. So it's been an interesting time, definitely. I tend to like to build in The Sims 4 more than I ever have in the past. I used to mainly do gameplay and like create a sim and stuff, but
Hmm.
I don't know, something about Sims 4 build mode is just so good, like
Oh my
it's
gosh, I totally agree with you, especially compared to like Sims 2 or
yeah,
and even Sims 3. Like the build is just incredible. I think it's just visually aesthetic because
it
I
is. It
forgot what
is
Sims
pretty.
3 looked like until a couple weeks ago, and I was like,
Oh.
oh, that's
It's so
not
dark.
so dark. Why does everyone look so like emo and sad? Like, why does everyone just automatically have bags under their eyes? Like, I got you, girl, don't sleep, but like just bags. Um, yeah, I personally really like Sims 4, which actually leads me to my next question, as I'm sure
Mhm.
everyone's aware
Yeah.
that The Sims 4 will be free starting October 18th. What are your thoughts about that?
Um, I'm okay with it. Like I feel like it's been out long enough that, it makes sense. And also base game is kind of lackluster. So it's good that they're giving it out for free.
Mhm.
um, but what I see it from like a marketing perspective is they're just trying to get new people in so then they can continue developing Sims 4 and getting more people to buy packs. We might get an announcement for Sims 5 in the near future, but I don't think it's gonna come for at least 2 to 3 years.
Really?
That's what I feel. Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you because like I work corporate marketing. So as soon as I saw that, I was like, okay. So basically
Yeah.
what EA is doing, their marketing team is phenomenal. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, they like literally sell us the dream. Unfortunately, we don't get the dream, but they
Yeah.
sell us this pipe dream. So
They're good
as
at selling.
as soon as I saw this, I was like, oh, they're basically in marketing 101, you never sell the cow, you sell the milk. So this is
Yeah,
basically it. So
that
you
makes
get the
sense.
pack and then you get the free and you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna buy like all these expansions.
One.
Cause
I'll get
like,
2. I'll get 50.
right at this
All of
point,
them.
because it's like it's really expensive to play as
It
Sims. So
is.
I do appreciate that it is going to be free, so more people will have the ability
Yes.
to play. I just think
Yeah.
it's ridiculous that like you have to buy a $55 pack to get dogs. And then you have
Yes.
to get a $55 pack to have snow. Like to me, that just kind
Yes,
of
there's a
feels a
lot of
little like it's
if we wanna talk about that type of stuff, I totally agree. Like, season stuff should be in base game, cats and
Mhm.
dogs should be in base game, and then the expansion should have been, like, horses or, like, exotic animals, I feel like. I don't know. There's so many things that are, like, basic or, like, restaurants. Why are
Yes.
restaurants in a pack when restaurants are, like, the most common thing that people do? Like, go out to eat.
Exactly. But not only is it an 8-pack, you have to buy the get to work pack, and then you have to buy the dine out pack to make sure you're able to get it. So you have to buy 2 packs. And I mean,
insane.
dine out is still the problem child of
It
the packs. I mean, I still love, it's one of my favorite packs, but it is absolutely a problem
Yeah.
child. Now, you said something about Sims 5. I think we're going to get an announcement next month. I think what we're going to see is what the plumb bob looks like,
Oh, maybe, yeah.
and then what the top of a head to see like what the graphics.
Maybe.
And I think it's
That would
going to
be really cool.
I think it's going to be next year's Christmas game. If I had to
Really?
guess. If I had to guess. Yes.
Wow.
If
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me because, you know, I'm wondering, okay, what do you think? Are they gonna keep like 4 and 5 side by side? Or are they gonna just drop off Sims 4?
Oh, they're gonna drop off Sims 4. We might,
okay.
I think we're not gonna get any more
There'll be a little bit of crossover, maybe.
A little bit.
yeah.
I think we're done with expansions. I think we're gonna get 1 to 2 more game packs, no more stuff packs, and about 1,000 kits.
Wow. Yeah.
Is what I'm
like
literally
the Sims 3 store, basically.
Yes, but I could definitely see, I think Sims 5 is gonna be closer than we think, because like if we think about it, Sims 4 now has been out for so
I mean, it's been
long.
here for so long, but then I've seen articles and stuff of them saying Sims 4 is around for years to come. So it's like, it's already been years.
I know.
So like, I'd be down if it was coming out next year, but I just worry based on what I've heard that it might not be for a couple more years. But yeah, I see what you mean. We can be hopeful.
We can be hopeful. To be honest with you, so they're like, yeah, Sims 5, Q4 2023. I am waiting till like 2025 to buy it. Like I'm giving it that year of getting all the bugs out. I also want to be able to buy expansions.
Yeah.
And I know that base game is going to be like $150. Like it's going to be the most expensive base game to like ever exist.
I also have a wonder if they're going to turn something like do some kind of subscription for Sims 5.
For sure they're going
packs.
to. Oh my god, yeah, for sure. Get ults, get new content every month. It's only going to cost you your liver and your mortgage.
Yes.
But you'll be able to get this new lamp every month. You know how they're going to sell that to people to get over to Sims 4 to Sims 5? 2 things. I was going to some horses and drivable cars. You say for $29.99 a month, you can have both these things day 1 of Sims 5. You don't think there could be lines?
I don't think they're gonna offer that, but yeah, I get what you mean. Like they're gonna do something.
They're gonna do something
that's gonna tease everyone to push them off of Sims 4.
Because
sucks.
I agree. I personally love Sims 4. I've spent like $600 on this game.
Yeah,
I love it. I also have like a ton of CC that I'm not ready.
I know. I don't want to move on and have to download more. Like I spend hours already downloading what we have here. And then for Sims 5, I have to do it again. And we have to wait for people to make CC for Sims 5. Is it even going to be possible? God, there's so many like questions right now with Sims.
I know. And then, you know, we'll get a Q&A of like one of the Sims gurus and just being like, yeah, so like here's everything, but no questions because we're not prepared. But just look at it, and then you'll have like, hey, can you fix the patches from like a year ago? Can we fix my wedding story? Can we actually bake a wedding cake that it doesn't immediately rot within 2 hours? Cool, thanks.
My wedding stories is the one that I have not bought. Out of all of the ones since I've been making content, I never bought it yet because of all the controversy around it. And I was just like, no, I refuse. And I don't really care about the gameplay aspect of it as much. So
I got you. I want it. So that's how I got it. And I was so excited for one reason.
Oh, nice.
And one reason only is in 2 past lives ago for me. I went to culinary school and I was a baker. Nice. And my dream was to open up my own bakery, specifically wedding cakes. So I was like, oh my God, in this game, I can do this. I can customize these cakes.
It's not.
It's not. I cried adult tears because I was like, EA, you promised me, because I saw the Sims community in blog post, and I had like these like thousands of cakes, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And I was like, this is awful. This is awful. EA, you fooled me, and I'm not easily fooled.
I feel that way about Dream Home Decorator.
Really? Interesting.
I
How
love Dream
so?
Home Decorator. It's like my favorite for the items,
Yeah.
but because the gameplay side of it, it was so
Oh.
lackluster. I remember doing interior design in Sims 3.
Mhm.
And that career was fun. Like it actually like made sense and it worked. And I was hoping, I was like, oh my God, the Sims 4 is gonna have interior design. Like you can do all this cool stuff again. And then I played it and I was like, oh, it's really doesn't matter what you do. You can just change so much stuff. You can sell other things in the house. And like there's just so many like logistics that like make it not as fun or challenging, where it's like, I don't know, it's just not as rewarding of a pack as I had hoped it would be. And that was one where I really had high hopes for. And then I only played it like once.
Mm. I got you. What are your thoughts then on high school? Did it exceed your expectations? Or are you just like, eh?
I was hyped for high school too. I will say that. I was really excited. The way they showed it in the trailer
Yep.
was really cool and really fun. I was like, oh, yeah, this is going to be great fun. And yeah, the first thing I did was make a high school, remodel it, make
Yeah,
it better, make it more fun.
because I saw you did the One Tree Hill High School, which I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, yes, my queen,
Love
I
it.
got
Love it.
you. But yeah, I remember seeing it and I was like, oh my God, this is gonna be amazing. So like I have a sim story that's like based in high school. So I was like, this is
Yeah. Oh, great.
where the hell has this pack been for the last like 2 years? I'm
Right.
excited for like for football stuff and cheerleader stuff and
But like,
like
it's
look at
so
inside the
lackluster.
school and I'm like, oh my God, this is so boring. I
Like, what
like
happened?
I just bought it for the world. I mean, I got it for my birthday, but like I
Okay.
got it for the world. I'm like
The world's great.
the world's
Yeah.
great, but the like
Other
the
than
whole
the pier. I wish the pier was more interactive, like more to do
yes.
other than rabbit holes. That's also a little disappointing. Like, I don't know. They're just I feel like they put all their efforts into a couple things and everything else is just like, it's here, but that seems to be kind of their thing with the packs
Right? Like
in
it's
general.
here, but like again, shows you the pipe dream. Like, look at all the things you're gonna be able to. Yeah, just kidding. So you're only able to do a little bit of this,
You can
but
only
like
do
we should.
cheerleading on this one mat. Like, what?
I was so pissed when I found that out. Like, you have no idea because I have a bunch of the cheerleader poses. So they work out so great, but I was so excited that I didn't have to spend like 20 minutes setting up
Trying
8
to set
people
everyone.
posing.
Yeah.
And I was just like,
Oh,
okay.
that
That's
sucks.
so weird. Why does it have to be only on this?
I know.
Can it just be like a dancing thing? Can't I just
And
have
there's
them like I
no
know.
like football like games that happen really, right? Like
Yes.
that
There's no
doesn't
football jerseys either. I
what?
there's like no like they have their gym uniforms because that's what it
Yeah.
looks like, but there's no like like traditional football outfits because I was expecting that. So when I was doing like my story this week and I was like
Yeah.
like filming, I was like, where are the football jerseys? That doesn't make sense. I see their gym shirt and I see their gym shorts.
Yeah.
But
They
where's the
didn't
full
have
no, they don't have shoulder pads. They don't have cleats. I was expecting at least cleats.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
no cleats. And I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah,
You asked me.
it's
This is
not.
absolute bullshit. Like
It's so rough how they sell it and what actually comes out. It's like expectations versus reality. You know, that meme just like it's always so opposite. But I will say it's still great for build buy.
yes.
Like I did a video where I ranked all the packs for builders
Mhm.
specifically, and I think that was in the top up there
Yeah.
with Dream Home Decorator.
I released a reel today. I'm sorry, YouTube short where I put high school years up there,
Yeah.
knowing like
Yeah.
how good, especially the debugs in there.
Yeah.
Oh
There's so
chef's kiss.
much.
There's
Oh my
so
gosh.
so much. It is worth it for the build buy, but not the
Uh,
gameplay or
the
cast.
gameplay is
Definitely not the
rough.
cast. I don't like any of the hairs that came with it. I was like, mm.
I like downloading hair.
Yeah.
CC hair has
I
so much
only
better. Also, there's no purple in the game. So like
nope.
I can't have purple hair. It's annoying.
You would think they would have more
They have
fashion
pink,
colors.
they
Yep.
have bright pink, they have light pink. But where's the purple? They have blue.
I am also loving your new hair because you had
Yeah.
teal and then
I
pink.
did have teal to pink, and
Yeah.
then I was like, I gotta change it. So then I kind of kept some of the pink, but then did purple on top, and then did, yeah.
So throughout the pandemic, while everyone was making bread, I already had my bread
Yeah.
making phase when I was in culinary school. So I was like,
Right.
bread. So I was like
Yeah.
obsessed with Brad Mondo videos.
Oh,
And I watch
nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so many
Great.
hair videos, and every time I saw your hair, I'm like, I
So
wish I could
satisfying.
have fashion colors. I'm not allowed to
You're
have.
not allowed to?
I where I work is pretty conservative, and the most I can go is red, but not a
Okay.
fun red,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
a
Like a
natural red. Yeah.
natural. Okay.
No.
I get
I
that. I get that. I mean, you want to talk about In and Out at some point, right?
Oh yes.
When I worked at In and Out, right? Yeah. So that's I have yeah.
Sorry, you just like made my dreams come true. I just is it as fun to work? Like how many celebrities did you see when you worked there?
A handful. I
Yeah.
mean, I was in Northern California, so we didn't get as many. We had like some famous basketball people because we were right next to a basketball arena.
Okay.
But I don't really pay attention to who they were. Oh, I think Steve Curry or something.
Wait, Steve Curry was just like at
In
your
the drive-through. I think they went
wow.
through a drive-through and everyone freaked out. No, he came in the lobby because I remember he was super tall. And it was like, yeah, that was like the only time I really remember. And then, oh, there was one when I was up here when I was really young. Who was it? Oh, I don't remember, but there was someone that came and like we're in a small town right now, and it was so surprising that like why is this person here? But I don't remember who that was because it was like when I was 18. I worked there for like 8 years, so
Oh wow. That's
yeah,
crazy.
too long.
But like I just
Yeah,
like I think the problem is because it's on the West Coast. And
yeah.
yeah, and like because it's you have the battle of In and Out or Shake Shack. I'm gonna sit here and tell
Mm,
you, I've had both. I'm sorry. Shake Shack got like sorry, In and Out has nothing on Shake Shack. In and Out is
I
so
love Shake
good.
Shack too. I will say,
Really?
but we
Nah.
don't have them very many like around me. So like there's one in the city, but I don't have any in my small town or within like 2 hours of me. There's no Shake Shack. So yeah.
Like the closest one to me is Chicago, which I go to Chicago quite frequently, and we always stop there because
Yeah.
it's like the line is like longer than basically the line to see the queen right now. Like it's always like
I
wrapped
bet.
around. But anytime I go to In and Out, I will wait an hour and a half to just get to that burger. Now that you've worked there, I have to ask you this because you're the only person I've ever met that works there that I can now
Mhm.
ask as many questions as
Yes,
I
ask whatever you want.
sutures. So what I want, what super secret menu items that are definitely not on the menu and not on like the secret menu websites? Like what is out there? Like what can I get it In and Out that will just like blow my mind?
Okay, so one thing was like we would get a free burger every day. And
Okay.
so it would get kind of like boring, right? Like you get a burger every day, so you'd always try to like make it different, but it's like we don't have very many things to make it different. It's a very simple menu, right?
Yeah.
Um, so the only thing I could say is you know about protein burger, right? Wrapped in
Sure.
lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the keto version, but yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you wanted a burger but you wanted it to feel lighter, you could do half protein, half bottom bun.
Huh.
So it's like the bottom bun with the tomatoes, pickles, or whatever you want on it, and then the patty and the cheese, and then wrapped with the lettuce on top. And then they wrap it up like a burger. And it's like, it's a little bit heartier than a protein, but I don't know. I love doing that when I was working there. And
Okay.
then I told my mom about it, and now she does it. But they always question her because it's like, it's so rare that people want that, you know? But like, it's good because it holds the juice in
Yeah.
better than like a protein because kind of drips
It just
everywhere
like
and
drips
makes a
around this.
mess.
Yeah, you're like eating it. You're like, oh, that's some grease and some lettuce.
And lettuce and water from the lettuce or whatever. Yeah. So I could recommend that. You
Okay.
may have to explain it to the person, but they will do it. Other than that, I recommend squeezing if you like spicy, the chilies.
Hmm.
I like squeezing the chili juice on my burger. But
Huh.
after, like
Yeah.
they won't do it for you. But you can do that. And then also I lemon and pepper on the fries. I'm sure that's probably been talked about. But squeeze lemon and then sprinkle some pepper on the fries. Yeah.
That just has it. No, I just want like an animal style burger. Like that's literally all I'm craving for.
You gotta
I
get the grilled onions.
you
You
got to.
gotta.
You got
Yeah,
to.
I know. Oh, also whole grilled onion. You know about that?
Yes, I
Yeah,
do know
where
about
you can
that.
get the whole onion grilled. It tastes different because they make it to order basically. The
Exactly. It's
grilled
fresh.
onion is cooked like in a trough for like, it's fresh, but like it it tastes so good because it cooks for
Mhm.
time, you know, like the onions cook for a long time, so they get really browned. But the whole grilled onion is different and it's like a little bit crisper, but still like cooked. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm so hungry.
I know, right? It's lunchtime for me. And I haven't eaten yet, so I'm like, I could talk about food.
Well, that actually brings me to my next thing. Like I
Yeah.
say you're not even a secretly a foodie, you are a foodie. Every time you post about food, I like literally drool.
Yeah,
Talk to
I love
me
food.
about your food experiences.
Oh my gosh, I have so much. Okay, so my dad is Turkish.
Okay.
So I have a lot of like Mediterranean influence in the food I've grown up with.
Mhm.
And so I'm always looking at like different places and different like types of food. I've tried like everything, you know, under the sun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love trying different restaurants. If there's, you know, a new place, I've tried it. Like I even accidentally went to a vegan burger place and loved it. Like I was like, oh yeah, let's go to this restaurant. It has really good reviews. And I did not know it was vegan. And I was like, I'm not vegan. I usually just go for meat, but we
Mhm.
were there and I was like, okay, let's try it. And it was like one of the best burgers I've had in a long time.
That's a
It was amazing. It was like a local place.
but
Um
again, support local. Love that.
yes.
And
Yes.
honestly, some of the vegan burgers blow like it doesn't
Surprising. I like that
yeah.
opened my whole mind to like actually I could eat this instead of regular meat. Like
See, I feel like in 50 years from now, our kids are gonna talk to us being like, "You ate meat?
yeah.
You had
You
milk
ate
from a
animals?
cow? Like, what?
Yeah, like there's all this
That's
other type of milk now too, like cashew and
cashew,
oat
almond,
milk.
hemp, oat, you name it.
Yeah.
They got alternatives for like tons of different stuff. Okay, what is your favorite type of like it's your birthday, you get to go to any restaurant in the world. Where are you going and what are you ordering?
You know what I did for my birthday, which was 2 weeks ago? I went to
Happy belated birthday.
Thank you, thank you. I went to In-N-Out with my parents.
Yes, you did. Was that when you had the touchless thing?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes. I just like because for some reason, every time you post, when I like turn on my phone, you're the first one I see. Not being a super psychopath about it, but it's
They
always
know
that.
that you care about what I post, I guess. I
Yeah,
don't know.
clearly. Because like I was like, I wasn't paying attention because usually because like I do work
Yeah,
marketing, specifically
yeah.
social media marketing. So I have all the business accounts that I follow, but I usually start on my Stassi page and then switch over to the multiples throughout the day.
Mhm.
But yeah, I saw that and I was at work and I just like go, "Bloop," and I'm like,
Yeah.
the fuck is that? And
I've
at first I'm like,
never
who is that? And I'm like, oh, I know who it is. This is my only girl that eats in and out. I love this.
yeah, yeah, so it's pretty cool that, like, they have that, and it's like they're trying to be, you know, more clean, I guess.
Clean, yeah. If it's 2 years ago during COVID, that would have been like nice. Been like,
Yeah, it
yes.
would've been perfect. I think they added it, like, a year ago, so, like, it's because of COVID they were doing
Oh,
that. So,
for sure. I think we're gonna see a lot more of that
I
stuff.
hope.
Hey, I love touchless shit. To be honest with you,
Yeah,
I like touchless. And
don't
now
have to
I
touch anything. It's
like I
way
just I go to
better.
the bathroom, I just put my hands on the tap, my hands out of the soap. They have like the
Yeah.
waving doors at my grocery store, like for the bathroom. So I'll just like wave the hand and like the door will
What?
open and then you go like this and it locks. So open,
That's amazing, I've never seen
lock.
that.
And I was like,
Oh,
yes, because I'm a girl that's gotta pee everywhere I go, still to this day. I gotta like
everywhere.
everywhere. I'll be like, honey,
Hopefully in a bathroom.
in the bathroom. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Not on the street. Anytime I go to the grocery store, I'm like, I gotta pee. He's like, we were just home. Like we live 2 minutes away. I'm like, and you just pee there. I'm like, I know, but I have to pee.
It's just like a response from your body. It's
Right.
like, "You're out, gotta pee."
Right. And I'm sure he's like, I think you just want to go play with the door. Cause I'm such a kid. I'm like,
Yeah, that's fun. No,
right.
I've never seen that, but that's cool.
Yeah. But anyways, again, love it. I love that you're a foodie. I also like that you do nail art because I saw your Charizard.
I started doing that, yeah. It's fun.
Very nice.
Charmander. I need to do a
Charmander.
Sims one. I do need to do some Sims ones. I was
Um,
kind of thinking of doing, like, more Halloween ones right now because or, like, spooky ones
yeah.
for the season, but, yeah, I'm definitely, gonna do some Sims ones, so you'll see them.
If you I know that's be the first thing I open. I'll be like, oh my gosh, she took the Sims nails. What would you put on them that were Sims themed out of curiosity?
I mean, Plumb Bob would be the simplest thing.
Obviously.
Can't go wrong with that, but I would probably do some kind of well, I'm kind of waiting to see about Sims 5. Like maybe
Okay.
I could do something related to that. That would be fun. But yeah, probably I would stick with just simple, like their colors and the plumb bob in different colors, maybe.
Okay.
Like changing colors, maybe like each color on a different nail or something.
I was expecting you to go like The Sims
Nah,
4 or something like that.
I
No,
don't
no.
like that. That's
You
a
know
little
what?
too much.
That's a little too much. You want like writing on there so you could just be like, look at my
Mm.
fingers. Um,
That's a little too cheesy. I like symbols better than
okay.
writing on the nails, I think. I think symbolism and um capturing the essence of the game or whatever I'm trying to do instead of being like, this is this game. you know?
I got you. The first thing that came to my mind, and I don't know why, was for like The Sims 1, the heart from
Oh
the vibrator
yeah.
bed. That was the first thing. I was
That
like,
would
you
be
have to do,
cool.
you got to do the heart
I
and
could I
the
could
vibe.
do that. That's a good idea.
Okay, so in Imagination Land, when Sims Team actually releases good kits that are not garbage,
Yeah.
would you buy a kit in The Sims 4 that was dedicated to bringing back original Sim stuff, like nostalgic items in the Sims 4 game?
Probably.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would if I had the vibrating bed,
Yes. Heart hot tub.
the hard tub, the aquarium that you would
Yeah.
swim in, the scuba diving.
Yeah.
Yes, I would buy
Yeah.
that. Yeah, I would even take the creepy clown because I feel like because that's like super good if you're doing like a creepy haunted house or something. Just have that creepy haunted
Yeah.
clown that goes like that. Like that is I would totally do that. But
Can we buy burglars?
I wish we could have burglars or a fire department that actually works instead of
Right.
it just being like and like everyone's on. I
Everyone else
just
does it. And the
I
fire department
I love when
just
the fire department shows up and then they catch on fire. I feel like that's like
right.
bad. Like I'm like, wait, is your coating fire suit not protecting you from the coated fire? Like what's going
Apparently not.
the first I remember as Sims 1, obviously everything was just like continuously always on fire. The first
Everything. Yeah.
the first time I played The Sims, I made myself, my best friend Casey made herself, and we were just continuously playing. And she caught fire first because she made a salad. I still to this day can't figure out the concept to that. And then I
That's
caught
great.
fire, and then a neighbor was running by. He ran and he caught on fire. And we're
Oh
just kind of like,
no.
neither of us
What
had
is
ever played before.
happening?
So we're screaming at the top of our lungs. And Casey's mom comes out and is like, what's wrong? And we're like, the game's on fire. And she like pushes us out of the way. She thought we meant the computer was on fire, not
Oh,
the game was on fire.
like just a
And
game.
just the game. She's like, it's just the game. And we're like, yeah, but like we spent like 5 hours building this house that looks exactly the same like every other house.
Right.
And they're like, whatever, just rebuild. I'm like, okay.
It's not that easy.
Right.
There wasn't
Um,
there wasn't the gallery or anything back then.
oh,
So at least
I did sorry, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say I have a lot of things to say about the gallery on Sims 4.
Share them. I'm very curious. Do you like it or do you hate it? Is this turning into like a rant or is a positive?
I like it, but I think there's so many things that they could improve on it, and it just doesn't run great, and it's so hard to find things, and you get notifications for when other people like other people's stuff, and you can't turn off notifications and without unfollowing people. Like, and I
Mhm.
don't want to unfollow people, but I still want to follow people. But then I want to see my notifications should be in a separate tab at least.
Yep.
Like there's just so much like little tiny like separation and how the gallery works that I just wish was, and I wish that even if the game says that it has modded, like when I upload builds a lot, I
Mhm.
use mods to like build, but I don't put mods in the builds,
Yeah.
right? Like Tool and a couple
Yeah, for
other
sure.
things. But it still tracks it as
Modded.
modded, and
Yeah.
I have to turn off my game, turn off my mods, reload the game, come back in, then re-upload it. Like I wish that they would just allow you to upload it as not modded, and just everything that wasn't supposedly modded just wouldn't show up. Like why do I have to do that workaround every time?
I didn't even know that. I totally agree. That's super, super, super annoying, especially or for me, anytime I upload a sim and I create it and I'll say
Yeah.
modded, and I'm like, where? Where is it? Because maybe I forgot like in one of the outfits that
Right.
it
And I
has an
wish that you could
earring.
just turn it off and then it would just disable it. Like, I don't know why it's not smart enough to do that. Like,
I agree. I totally agree. I use the gallery kind of more as like inspiration.
mm,
I will look and be like, oh, that's really cool. And I'll download it and see like how honestly
how people do stuff.
how it's
Yeah.
the roof. It's how they did the roof. And then I will take a mock version of the roof and then I'll save it in a
Ah.
room and then I'll upload
Oh.
it to the gallery. And then whatever room I'm currently building, I just put it there and I grab the roof and then I copy it that way.
Oh,
That
wow. I've never
yeah.
thought about doing that. That's
I was
cool.
I was like, because I don't know how you
You don't
guys
like
do
the
roofs.
roofing?
No,
Yeah.
I just don't. I understand it's boxes and roofs, boxes and triangles. I got you, but I
The shapes.
100% the shapes because I'll sit and like I'll be doing a castle or something, and I'll be like,
Oh gosh. I don't know.
"How do you have like
Yeah.
these like multiples and all this stuff?" So yeah, I'll be like, "This is how they did it. This is fantastic. I'm gonna try to recreate it to the best that my ability, and then
No.
go from there."
Yeah. I like to build from the ground up. Like I can't do that. Like I'll figure out the roofing, but yeah, I don't like it, but I'll make it work.
So when you start building then, do you start like obviously from the ground up, obviously landscaping and everything, but like what's your favorite aspect of building? Is it more of the build or the buy?
You know what? Sometimes I get kind of bored of the buy items and I
Okay.
kind of like the structuring of the build. And I've started like sometimes when I'm like I don't really feel like decorating a full house, I just make the shell and
Yeah.
I upload like an empty shell.
Yeah.
So I think I actually like the exterior, but I don't know cuz like it's hard. I like a little bit of the inside, but then I just get like tired of the inside sometimes, you know? Like it
Yeah.
can be like a lot like cuz I like to clutter and so I'm looking for the perfect clutter item and it takes me like 50 minutes to like decide on which item to use and then I have to decide on the swatch and then it's like but with the exterior I feel like it's easier for it to come together kind of. I don't know.
I got
For me.
you.
How do you feel about that?
I'm definitely outside more than inside. I mean, how can you make a bathroom look awesome? It's the
I
same
get so
things.
bored of the bathrooms every time. I'm like, this looks so dumb. Like, what? I don't want to do this again.
If somebody told me that their favorite room to build was a bathroom, I would say they're a psychopath and we should not talk to them. Because
Yeah.
oh, it's a toilet, like, oh, it's a sink, like, oh, I'll just put a different flower in there. I'm definitely more of the exterior, especially in the last little bit. Like I'm very much playing with ponds. I don't care
Nice.
what build it is, it has a pond.
You have a pond now. Okay.
You need to have a pond in the backyard. They're like, "Mm,
Okay.
but this is like a very modern home." I'm like, yeah, but it could have a quarry in the back. And they're like,
Yeah, why not? Why
why
not?
not? It's what my imagination. I definitely like all the debugged. I think like anytime I'm doing any type of landscaping, it's 100% debugged. I
Yeah.
don't even go to whatever the trees and bushes that are there. I'm just like,
No. Debug is just so much better. There's so much more variety and it's free.
yeah, exactly. It's like because you'll see like people on like YouTube and stuff be like, look, you have cars. I like for the longest time, I didn't 100% know what debugged was.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and then I was like, looked at it, I was like, oh my God, they have everything. Like
Yeah.
everything. And which
I was
I
like, oh, you have toy cars. You make into big cars, right? Is that
yeah,
what
that is like literally how like every house I made in
long
like
time
when I
ago?
got The Sims 4 back in like
Yeah.
I don't know 2018, 2019. Because I was like, I remember when I learned how to make things bigger, I was like,
Yeah.
or
This is
like
amazing.
or the instead of having the red shelf, you could just like physically like press, I think it's like shift 9 and it like automatically goes
You
up or just
just
something.
I think just 9 and
Is that just
0
9?
up
And
and
I'm just
down.
like,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, like this is like
There's
that's
so many little like tips and tricks that like you don't know. Like I feel like The Sims should like teach you that stuff in the game a little bit.
I would love that. I speak
Because I made a video on it because like there's just articles on the internet, not official articles,
Mhm.
but just people have found out this is what you do. And a lot of it is like from the older games, but some of it is new and different. And it's like I wish that they had like a tutorial in the build section for Sims 4. I think that would be really helpful for a lot of people.
I
Like
totally got you. I mean, which brings me to my next question. What's a tip or trick that you wish you knew when you first started versus what you know now?
well for roofing, um alt and dragging can change one side of the roofing. So you can have an eave on one side and no eave on the
Okay.
other. And that's like a big one for me that I learned like less than a year ago.
Oh, wow.
Like I didn't know it. And I was like, oh, that would fix a lot of the problems I have with building roofs.
Hmm. Because sometimes I
I
look at
think
a
Lil
roof.
Simsy like mentioned it in a video that I was watching once, and I was like, how have I not known that?
Right? Okay, for me, the biggest like what the fuck moment is when you can go first person and you
Oh
can
my
see what the
god,
sim
I
is seeing.
totally forgot about that.
I was like,
Yeah.
I accidentally pressed it one day and I was like,
You're like, what happened?
what the fuck happened? What the fuck is going on? Because like you can see the little circle, right? So it's just like
Yeah.
continuously
Kind of
moving. I
weird.
also didn't know how to move the little circle for the longest time. Just
Mm.
literally tab removes the circle. But I remember sitting, I'm like, what? What does this say? And then I realized it's their vision. The circle is where
Yeah,
their eyes
that's
are,
where
and
they're looking. That's
that's where they're
crazy.
looking. And I'm just like,
Yeah. No, I never played with that, but yeah, I've seen people use it, and I was like, oh wow, yeah, that's.
yeah.
I I just wish that they would tell you more of this stuff. You know, I
Um,
guess they don't want you to use that, but then why is it in the game
yeah,
if you don't want
it's
to use it? You know?
exactly. Do you know what I miss? And I'm not sure if you miss these as well. Remember back in like like in like the Sims and Sims 2 or any other game, they would have the like the official game book, and you would just go and buy
Yes,
it, and you would just read it.
they
Like
had
I
them for the first games, I think. No,
yeah, but like
I
not,
swear.
but not for Sims 4. I would love
Okay.
it at like a 2022 game book where you could just go in and get tips and tricks because
Yep.
I think that would be extremely helpful, especially if it was in multiple different languages. I find Sims is a
Yeah.
very English-based game. A lot of
But a
people
lot of people don't speak English that play it.
exactly, and then
Yeah.
they don't understand like what's going on, and they take it through Google Translate. But could you imagine if there was a game book in, I don't know, every language under the sun, and they were like,
That would be
"Oh, I can
amazing.
maybe now enjoy this
For
game."
accessibility, I think that would be huge. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I
Like,
mean, and I'm just for that, having accessibility in the game. Maybe having the font not be so small or just,
you can't change much.
no.
Yeah.
Or just or I would even like in the game, and I've talked about this before of having wheelchairs
Yeah.
and like having the handicapped option. And people are always like, sauce, like obviously like you can't have that because like people would take advantage of it and use it to make fun of people with disabilities. I'm like, but I feel like that would be a
But
select
the
few.
people, yeah, that would be not the norm. That would be the
No,
outlier in
because
that
like
situation.
I was talking to someone yesterday and they're like, I really like The Sims. So you're able to create yourself. I feel like there's still some aspects missing that you're not able to create yourself, such as purple hair.
Yep.
If you have a walker, or
Mhm.
you need a cane,
Yep.
or if you're really short,
Yep.
or
Oh, a
maybe
height slider would be
uh,
amazing.
or instead of having like you're a bean pole, actually having proper body size differences instead of it just always going to the stomach for some
Yeah,
reason.
yeah. Like it doesn't spread out like ever. They don't.
And then
Yeah.
having clothes that properly fit.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for every body type.
For
For
every
like, if
instead
they're
of it
gonna make it so that you can do that, make sure the clothes look good on every size. You know?
exactly, instead of just taking the same skin and just stretching it.
Yeah.
Because that's
No,
not like mm,
doesn't look good.
no,
No.
no, it doesn't.
And then like hair clipping if your like chest is too big or something. Like
Yes. Or just having not base game hair because all the base game hair is terrible and
yeah,
it's all like just like really chunky. Like, why chunky? Hair is like movable
it
and has
moves.
shine
Yeah,
to it.
I know.
It's not a
I
2D
wonder
object.
how Sims 5 style is gonna be. What do you think?
I feel like
Realistic
I
or
think it's gonna go super realistic.
I think so
Like
too.
super, super, super to the point we're gonna be like,
No one can run it. No.
oh my god, yeah. As you can tell, my gaming setup is just so phenomenal. I have a mom answering laptop email that only has 25 gig free at all times these days. I
I
could
feel
not,
that.
I could not imagine having like I have a hard enough time running Sims 4 right now.
Oh
If it
my
was that
gosh.
realistic, I'd have to go get a new computer to play it. It would,
Yeah.
there's no way it
I
would.
feel like if they need to, I think they need to make it more realistic than it is. I just
Yes.
hope it's not like pure, like mm, too close to home. I feel like
I
if it's just slightly better and not as cartoony, like at all. Like I
okay.
want hair to look good. Yeah, like you said. I don't
Yeah,
want it to look like.
I feel like it's gonna look like the Polar Express characters, but more modern.
Oh, no.
Do you know what I mean? Like where you're just like, is that
Yeah.
real?
Or is it
Is that a thing?
animated?
I just hope they don't go too animated because I've seen people's like guesstimations like of what they're
I
gonna
know.
look like, and I'm just like, yeah, but their
No. Yeah,
heads
I
are
don't
like
want that. I
this
hope they
like
don't go backwards, like in the sense of like make it even more cartoony and like I mean, oh, Dreamlight Valley
yeah.
is perfect. I mean, I like it a lot, but I don't think The Sims should go in that style, you
No,
know?
I
I
agree.
hope it
Like
doesn't.
let it do its own thing. Or the new Disney
Yes.
game that's out right now that like everyone's
That's
talking about.
Dreamlight Valley.
Sorry, Dreamlight Valley. Yeah. I was like, I couldn't remember because I always get Dreamlight Valley and Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
Stardew Valley.
I think Dreamlight Valley is a mix of Stardew Valley and Animal Crossing and a little bit of The Sims.
Yes.
So
I
it's
think
like,
that I think that's 100% how they've marketed.
yes, I
Um,
started it and I'm afraid to keep playing it because I will be playing only that. But I have like a million other things to play and I'm playing World of Warcraft right now as like my
oh my gosh.
MMO. So
I have not heard anyone say they play WoW in a long time.
I know.
Talk
I
to okay,
know.
I know it's about Sims, but like talk to me about that. Like I haven't played since I was a kid. Like,
Yeah. I
yeah.
started in 2006.
Oh wow.
So yeah, in high school, my boyfriend back then was like, "Oh, you should play this game with me," and I'm like, "Sure, I know nothing about it, but okay." And I got hooked on it, and yeah, I played it for years. I took breaks, you know, here and there,
Yeah, yeah,
obviously.
obviously.
And recently, I played on their new classic server, Wrath.
Okay.
So they're relaunching an old expansion pack from like 2008. So it's like kind of going back in time and like replaying stuff. And I'm actually playing with some of my high school friends again. And yeah, it's just like a really fun thing to do. But that's like and then League of Legends are like my
Yeah.
two like constant games that I kind
Okay.
of play when I want to, you know, have my RPG grind and a little bit of competition. Those are my two games.
I love it. I've never played League of Legends. I've only watched it. I've never like
Yeah.
played it.
Yeah.
I am like the worst gamer to like ever
Yeah.
exist. Like if I have to somehow if I'm roped in to play Rocket League for some unknown reason, I will continuously score on myself.
Oh
Like
no, I'm
there's
horrible
no
at Rocket League. I can play
oh
most games, but driving games, no.
no.
It's hard. It's
Anytime
not.
they'd be like, come on, like play like Call of Duty or Grand Theft Auto or like any games that require shooting, I usually end up shooting myself or just like I forget what I'm doing and I'm just like running around in circles. Like
Yeah.
I am like the worst person to play Smash with
Oh gosh.
because there's so much going on and I'm just like
That game is tough to keep track of. I don't know how people do it.
right, especially the Nintendo Switch one because I always pick the Wii no, the Wii Sport yoga person. I always
Oh,
pick her because she's like her fighting moves are
it's
yoga
fun.
poses. And it's
Yeah.
so and she'll like shoot like
It's
auras
hilarious.
at you. And I'm
Oh,
like, how can you not enjoy? Because like everyone's like, I'm gonna be Browser, I'm gonna
yeah.
be Donkey Kong. I'm like, I'm gonna be the
I would be
Wii.
the
Uh,
yoga
I'm
person.
gonna be the yoga person from Wii Sport. She's like literally doing
Wow.
downward facing dog while like literally like getting up her energy, like going out and going like, but you like
That's
that
cool.
is yeah. But
I
like
love it.
I truly only ever play this
You
stuff is
did
all I
the
have
same.
time for,
Mm,
especially now
I get it.
at
Yeah.
this point. I mean, I think I
You
want to play
working in
more.
an office again?
I'm back in the
Yeah.
office, which is awful. I actually like I mean, I will happily speak openly about my job on here because they know that I
They
do
know
this.
it.
I
Yeah.
cannot stand my job anymore. I'm so stuck. I'm just in a
I get
place
that. I get
where
that.
I can't grow any further. I've already achieved like every marketing award I've already won. I've literally I've like
That's amazing.
I spoke at a Google franchise panel talking in front of thousands of business owners the importance of marketing throughout the pandemic. Like I feel like I've done everything I could possibly do. At this point I'm just
With that
underpaid.
company or like doing oh, you're underpaid.
I'm
Yeah. I
underpaid
get
and
it.
overworked. That's kind
Okay,
of
so you do social media marketing.
yes.
I do social media marketing. I
Yes.
did.
Yeah.
And I'm starting a new job on Monday
Oh wow.
because the last job I had lost their funding, blah blah blah,
Mm,
had to lay off everyone.
yeah.
And I was severely underpaid there, but I
Mhm.
didn't realize it. I was there 4 years. I didn't
Mhm.
realize until like the past year how badly underpaid I was. Now with the next job I can get, like I've been applying for like 2 months,
Yeah.
tons of applications, tried to get a new job, tons of stuff, and every job was like double or triple my
Mhm.
pay. And I was like, why didn't I think like it was good because I got the experience that I can get this better
Yes.
paying job now, but like I felt like, oh, they did take advantage of me. That sucks.
Oh, oh my gosh, my boss for sure takes advantage, and he knows it. Like it's not a
Like
secret,
they know you do really good and they're like just happy that you stay there and they keep you happy-ish, you know, right? Like
right?
content. Yeah.
Do you know what my reward is for working really hard? More
What?
work. That's my reward, is getting more work and more
No.
responsibility, but not a pay raise that goes with it.
That's
I
weird.
at this
Yeah.
point, the problem is I was supposed to get actually married this year, but because of
Oh,
COVID, we did
congrats.
have to thank you. We did have to move it just because like it just
Yeah.
couldn't happen. So we pushed it to
Oh, okay.
next year.
Oh,
Technically,
okay.
we're supposed to get married in 2021,
Of
COVID,
course.
2022,
Everything.
COVID, 2023, doesn't matter.
Maybe not COVID.
We're so
Maybe monkeypox.
well,
Oh, God.
oh my
It's
God.
fine.
Like at this point, I'm like, we're getting married.
Zombies.
We're getting married that day. It doesn't matter. But we're also trying for a kiddo, and where
Okay.
I am in, I think maternity leaves what, 6 months in the States? Does that sound right?
I don't know. I don't have kids, so
So yeah,
I don't pay attention to that. But yeah, probably something like that. Not
but
very
six
much.
months. Okay, so
Yeah.
here you can get 18 months, but you have to work at a job for 2 years consecutively. So we've been
Well,
actively trying for a baby now for like
and so you're trying to stay at your job until you have the kid, and then
yeah,
get a
just
new
to
one
try to
later
like
after that, maybe.
yeah. Well, my goal is so I get married September 23rd, 2023 next year. And then we're gonna go on a week honeymoon, and then sorry, mini moon, not a true honeymoon. My
Yeah.
I want to go to the UK for my honeymoon.
Oh, okay.
But anyways, I'm not coming back after the wedding. I made that promise to myself. I would have been there at the company for 5.5 years at that point.
Yeah. That's a long
I
time.
have done everything I can. Like I just
And you don't feel there's any chance for growth and you're
yeah.
stuck and you're kind of over
Yeah.
it. Then you can find something better.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
So
sure you can.
until then,
Yeah.
stuck in place. But congratulations on getting a new job.
Yeah.
I hope it exceeds your
It's really
expectations.
exciting. I'm really happy about it, and I think it's gonna be a great fit. It's kind of like a startup a little bit, so it'll
Okay.
be another startup. I worked for a startup, but this one actually is like more organized, and they seem like they know what they're doing. So we'll
I
see.
I think I just want to work for like a startup, not like corporation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, where I'm just like
Yeah,
I'm just in a
startups are nice because you have a lot more potential for like
mhm.
impacting the company
Yes.
in the strategies and the ways that things happen, and you get to like see it develop and grow, and it's kind of like your little like yeah, you can grow social media channels for a big company, but like I feel like that wouldn't feel the same
No.
as working on a startup place. So yeah, I would recommend it if you can get a good place that take you in. Yeah,
Yeah.
why not?
Year from
Do
now,
it.
looking at it at this point, I hope to
Yeah.
listen to this a year from now, being like, I remember when I was
I
sad at
love
my
that.
job. Now I
Yeah.
make 3 times the amount more money.
And
And then
yeah,
I can
you're way
maybe
better off.
oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
For
the future.
yeah,
We'll
exactly.
make it
Exactly.
make it better for you, I'm sure.
Anyways, future. You do a lot of streaming, which I
I
see you all the time. You're always at these like streaming cons. You were just
yeah.
at one a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Talk to me about streaming to a girl who is petrified about streaming and doesn't understand the
Really?
concept of stream. I understand what it is, but I don't understand like how people do it. Talk me through
Being a
streaming.
streamer.
Yeah, being a streamer.
It's it's a lot. It's a lot of work. I've been doing it since 2014.
Wow.
So I'm very much like been around. I've tried a ton of different platforms. I was on Beam, which turned into Mixer, which then
Mhm.
died. I was on Twitch and I stream a little bit everywhere right now, kind of like multi-streaming. But
Yeah.
streaming is like it's great for building like making connections. And when I started streaming, I felt like I didn't have real life friends that cared about the stuff I cared about,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah,
And
I
so I
got
was
you.
like looking for a community or looking for people that had the same interests as me.
Mhm.
And so I started streaming playing League of Legends. That was like the first game I streamed, which was, it was back in 2014 when everyone was playing that game on stream. And so
Yep.
I just was like, I can do it too. Why not? And then I also went to school for graphic design, visual communications. So like I kind of like worked myself into doing a ton of like social media stuff too. And that's how I
Mhm.
got the job I got was just because of me being a streamer, and building communities is something I'm passionate about, like creating groups of,
Yeah.
connecting people with people
Yeah.
and stuff. So, I don't know. It's just it's really cool to experience like different games with people, and like your reaction to the game, and they're like, they can help you, or yeah, it's just like a really cool back and forth if you have people, that, and you will, like, if you stream, you're gonna get some regulars and stuff. And there's definitely been a lot of ups and downs, but it's rough, but it's fun. You kind of got to take it for what it is. And like, there's so many people streaming nowadays that it's like really hard to kind of get noticed, I would say.
Yeah.
But if you just do what you love and want to share your content with other people and meet people that enjoy the same things you do, it's great. So I could recommend doing it, but it can take a lot out of you too, because a lot of the time you will be streaming to like nobody.
And that has
And
to be
that's
disheartening, right? Because you're like,
thing.
yeah, because you're
Yeah.
like, well, who am I doing this for if there's nothing there? Well, you said you've been streaming since you said 2014, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so 2022, that is an 8-year
Years.
difference.
Yeah.
Talk to me from what it like, obviously starting meeting people. How has the streaming game changed since 2014 to 2022?
That could be a whole nother podcast, I could say, but there was no battle royales. So like League of Legends was like the popular game.
Okay.
And like World of Warcraft, right? Like those games, and like maybe like Call of Duty. So there was a lot more like, there's not as much variety in the games that people could play, I feel like. I feel like now you see a lot more indie games being showcased. I love playing like smaller games and like talking to developers and showcasing their games. That was one of the things I did at PAX West, was I set meetings every hour for like 4 or 5 hours each day to talk to developers about their game and test their game.
Oh, wow.
And so I got a lot of contacts with that. I think doing streaming now is a lot, like there is a lot of networking that can be done, like if you want to actually like grow, like, be involved with the community for a game that you care about.
Yeah.
It's still great. I know the sim side of things is bigger on YouTube than streaming.
Yes.
So like that's why I decided to do YouTube for my Sims, and I do everything else, because I'm not someone who can just play one game. Yeah. I have a very much like, I don't know what I have, but I feel like it's like I have to play like 10 different things. Otherwise I'm not happy. And I'm like, I don't want to get stuck in a box. So I can't just do one thing. But then I was like, okay, well, if there's one game I could do on YouTube that I could not probably get tired of, it was The Sims. So I kind of decided that in 2020. I think 2020 is when I started my YouTube.
Oh, wow.
Actually for for Sim stuff. Before that I was doing just random other gaming crap that didn't get anywhere, like then I just was like, I'll just do that on stream then, and separate it. So now I have 2 YouTube channels, which is like, it's a lot, but fine.
I can barely handle one YouTube channel, let alone 2 YouTube. No, that's awesome, because I know I couldn't agree with you more when it comes to Sims on Twitch, like, or streaming. Like, no one kind of cares.
No,
I mean, there are people that do it, right? And I mean, it's out there, but
I think a lot of the people that do it have the audience already on YouTube.
Exactly. And they just come over like, oh, I'm streaming live tonight, and stuff like that. I think that's like another reason I just couldn't be like, okay, so tonight from like 6 to 9, like I'm going to just play something. I think in the like 3 hours, I would be like, I don't know if I could talk for 3 hours straight. I know I do these podcasts and it sounds like I could, but okay. So like, as I put myself out here every, week talking about my personal life, I'm sure, I know you do the same. Do you kind of feel like at some point that like, there's nothing, like you're just so open with talking about like everything in your life that like, you're just like, you've become like an oversharer of like everything in your life?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I'll just sit there and I'll be like, yeah, so like today I'll just be like, yes, like I had like a Caesar salad and it was like really good and like stuff. But like, again, like,
but then I get bored. Like I realize when I say that stuff, then I like 30 seconds later, I'm like, why did I talk about that? Like no one really cares. Like, but you still do it.
You don't think I have like become like a hard shell after? Because now, okay, so this would be potentially like the 80th podcast I've done out of all the. So now I just sit here, I'd be like, why did I say that? Like, I thought in my head that I was like doing a stand-up set. I thought it was hilarious. You just go back and edit, you're like, that was weird. Why would you say that?
um, you're yourself though, and that's what matters. And people
Yeah.
tend to like that. Like, I think a lot of thing with the internet and being a personality is like you do need to show yourself, unless you want to be a character or like you want to be
Yeah.
someone else. Then you need to be honest and you need to like actually, tell people about your life. But
Mhm.
then, yeah, there is a point where it's like you do feel like you kind of overshare. Like I just share my food on Instagram, right? Like I don't care if anyone watches it, but some people like to just look at it. Like they don't interact, but you like to look at my
Yeah.
food, whatever.
I
Like,
agree.
it's not.
We just had a bunch of engagement shoots because we got another set of like another engagement shoot. Long story short, had a free engagement shoot with our wedding photographers back in 2019. We
Oh
won
my
it,
gosh.
but it poured rain. So they said, if you book with us in 2020, we'll do a free shoot for you. Ha ha ha.
Pandemic.
COVID, because our wedding photographers actually live in Florida for the like. So originally what their plan was is they were going to live in Florida for half the year and
Mm.
Canada the other half of the year and do a full
Oh,
wedding season, because like in Canada there's no winter weddings. That's not a
it's
thing.
always in the,
It's
yeah.
always in the
Okay.
fall. The fall
Fall.
is like the
Oh.
oh yeah, fall weddings. That is prime Ontario wedding shit. If
Oh,
it's
okay.
not at a
Nice.
barn house or a country club in the fall,
Yeah.
you're not getting married in Ontario. But it's true. So they wanted to do, so they were in Florida during the pandemic. They couldn't fly back until last month. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, like I never really
Oh,
show my face on here. Like I'll just post a bunch of the engagement photos, make a reel of it, call it a day.
yeah.
I had people sharing it. I had people being like, "Oh my God, like that's what your fiance actually looks like." I'm like, guys, we've done videos together. Like he, like
Yeah.
yeah, like I could constantly show him when we're out places, and it was like people like, "Oh my God, like you," because I had changed my hair like from like the first little bit, like it was dark, it was very
Oh,
dark
really?
because
Okay.
I would say like this much of it down here was like natural brown because I just let my roots grow out for the last
Yeah.
year and a half. And then I went to my hairdresser and I was like, "Hi, how's the Dragons premiered yesterday? Can you turn me into a Targaryen? Okay,
Oh my
thanks."
God.
And she did, and this is what she came up with. And
I
then
love the color
once,
on you. Yeah, it looks
thank
great.
you. That's like anyways, natural hair. Anyways, long story short, oversharing. I start liking to like I start doing it, hence me literally oversharing as I'm oversharing. Um, anyways, I got a
Yep.
couple more questions for you, and then I'm gonna let you
Okay,
go because it's
okay.
lunchtime, and
It
then
is.
I am having a roast pork shoulder for dinner tonight
That sounds
with
amazing.
homemade vegetables that I got from my girlfriend's garden, which
Oh
I'm
my gosh.
so excited up to like
Lucky.
eat. I know, so I can
I'm gonna
just
have
smell
leftover
it.
pizza probably.
Oh,
My
I
parents are in Turkey right now, and
oh
I live with my parents right now because of pandemic.
yep.
And so I'm watching the house and the dog. So kind of just do whatever I want, which is kind of nice.
Oh
But
my gosh. I
yeah.
honestly, I like have like manic freak out attacks that I live at home. Like I don't live at home. Like this is me and my
Yeah.
fiance's house.
Yeah.
And I'll wake up being like, "Oh my God, I don't live at home, right?" Oh my God.
Yeah.
If you have chill parents, like I love that. Like honestly, I wish 22-year-old me would have said like live at home
I
until you're
know.
45. Save, why are you
Save
paying so
money.
much money? Save your money. Like I wish I would have done that instead of being like, I'm an independent queen.
I'm
I'm gonna go,
18. I can
I
handle
can do what
this.
I want.
Yeah.
I told my mom when I was 7 years old, I'm like, I will do whatever I want when I'm older and you can't stop me. And she
Oh
reminds me
my,
of that all the time. That she's like, yeah, you're absolutely
you
right.
did.
Yeah, because nothing can stop me. I'll do whatever I want. But
Yeah.
anyways,
Same.
so Sims, let's go back. Let's back to Sims. You know,
Sims. Oh yeah,
back
we're talking about The Sims. What
back
about
to
The
Sims. What about the
Sims?
Sims? It's always these things. I got like segues upon segues upon segues.
Yeah,
So,
that's okay.
so streaming on Twitch, streaming on YouTube. What would you recommend if someone wanted to start their own Sims YouTube channel? Like what would you recommend them to do?
I would say find something that you like to do and like focus on that. If you want to do building, focus on building. If you want to do speed building, then just do the speed builds. If you want to do like, build challenges where you're on camera, do it that way. Like there's so many different ways you can go about making YouTube channel. And in the Sims community, there's so many different types of channels.
Mhm.
Like there's obviously the bigger people that they can do whatever they want. But if you're
Yeah.
starting to wanting to grow right now, you really need to like find a specific thing that you're good at or that you want to showcase and share and double down on that. That's what I recommend.
I love
Um,
that. You have multiple different challenges on your YouTube channel. Because I was looking at it. You have like
yes.
a zombie apocalypse. I
Yeah.
saw rags to
Kind of all
riches.
over the place. Yeah.
What do you think that is a good first challenge? Excuse me. If you want to
Mm.
start doing something different and creative.
I mean, Rags to Riches is always a good starter one. That was like the first actual gameplay challenge I did on my channel, and it went pretty well. Like
Okay.
for someone who never did a Rags to Riches before. Like I've always done a lot of gameplay, but not. I never started with 0 and tried to like stick with it. I have a hard time sticking with a playthrough for very long. Like
Yeah.
I don't get to the children stage usually.
So I was gonna say,
before I want to.
so I was gonna say, how's your 100 baby challenge going then?
-5.
-5, yes. Or your not so berry, because those challenges are
I can't
long.
do those. I always am like, "Oh, that looks fun. I should do it." And I'm like, "I will never complete this, and I'll just waste time on it." I can't. I can't.
I agree. There's so many because now there's like Disney legacy challenges and
It's
there's
like they sound so
vampires.
cool, but then it's like, but then you remember how like kind of monotonous the Sims 4 gameplay is.
That's why I never do gameplay, like ever. I
Yeah, that's why I
literally,
did the Sims 3 zombie challenge. I
yeah.
could do a Sims 4 one, but it's not gonna be as good because the Sims 3 mod for it is like way better.
Yeah.
So than anything I could find for Sims 4.
Um, what mods would you recommend then for The Sims 4?
For building,
Anything.
Twisted Mexi for sure.
Yeah.
Tool, better build by, definitely because you can find all the debug objects like easily without having to type in debug or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything from him is great. I did a video on this recently actually where I talked about like the mods that I use that I feel like are necessary but aren't like super gameplay impactful, but like they're just little details and stuff. I think there's one that was if you're doing Create a Sim, you can have more columns in Create a Sim, where you can have like more than just 2. You can have
Oh,
3 to 4, so
yeah.
it's not like just 2 and you have to scroll forever.
Because I've seen that now when people do their cast reels. I was like 4. I'm like, how the fuck are you
Just a
getting
mod.
4? That would make my life so much easier instead of being like
Yeah.
scroll, 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 scroll. Because the hair I always want, because I always use the
It's
same
like
6
way at the
hairs.
bottom.
It's always at the bottom.
I know. Exactly.
Well,
Yeah. Also, I have loading screen I download
okay.
because I get bored of like the Sims loading screen. So you can like download random loading screens from people, but you can only have one in the game. So it's like the same loading screen, but you can change it whenever you want.
Okay. I was gonna say, what are you talking about? You don't want free earbuds and okay?
Well, actually, the text is usually the same, but
Oh,
it's
okay.
like a
Oh,
different
instead
plumb
of the
bob or a different
blue.
background.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I got you.
Unfortunately, you can't. I don't know if you can change that, or I don't know. Maybe that's possible, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I did a video on that recently because I was like, oh, there's so many mods, but it's like, which ones do you really need? Like ones you need them all, but then do you? I mean,
Like the
yes,
top 10 ones you super, super, super need. And then the other 100 you still need, but
you,
like the 10 you like
they're
really need.
there. Do you want to use them? But yeah, I don't even remember. I think I'm trying to look at my video really quick just to get some reminders because map replacements, high quality map replacements, or like
Okay.
the Sims worlds can look like way prettier if you
Hmm.
download. There's like a couple different people that have done full replacements of every world.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
it can be either just a high quality version or like people who have drawn like brand new versions of the worlds that actually look better.
See,
So
this is why I fucking love the Sims community because they literally
so many things. Yeah.
they make the game better. EA sucks. Like I'll never be an EA game changer.
I know, I know. I applied once, but I was like, it's never gonna happen. I know.
I applied for the whatever the EA
The new
creators,
one
yeah,
network.
and they like I got rejected pretty quick.
What?
I
They're
yeah,
like,
I,
no,
and
you're
they like
too
yeah you're.
real.
I don't know if I ever got like I feel like you would know if I ever got in bed with Business Daddy because you'd be like, okay, guys, so like these kits are amazing. Like they're so great. They'd be like, Stoss sold her soul.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's great.
Yeah. Anyways, it's been an absolute pleasure. Why don't you tell everybody where we can find all your amazing stuff?
All over the internet. Username at Anatlus89. Pretty much everywhere. Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, even Instagram. And then I also have my build channel, which is Sim Anna Builds, because Anna was the nickname I'm going by because of my username. That's a whole thing. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. But you
Awesome.
can find me. I also have a Discord.
There you go.
A Discord partner, but yeah.
Oh, very, very, very cool. Well, thank you so much for being
Like
here today. Please go check her out. She's absolutely amazing. She doesn't need me shouting her out. She's so multi amazingly talented. So thank you so much for being here today. Thank you so much for letting thank you so much for letting me ramble and like fangirl over you. And now you're gonna be like,
for letting me chat.
of course, you're gonna be like, how can I restrict Stassi so she doesn't like see everything
No.
I do?
No, I'm gonna add you to close friends now.
Oh my god. Does that mean I can add you to my close friends? Like, I mean, I only ever show like
I know
food photos on my close friends. Maybe
I'd be down.
I'm about to go on a week vacation. I'm so
Vacation,
excited.
yay.
We're gonna do 5-day trips in Ontario to 5 different cities, and we're gonna do 5 different things while we're there. I was literally gonna put it on my my stories being like, follow me along, but then I don't want people to know that like I'm not
where you're going or
home.
Yeah,
because I'm a huge, especially being a social media person, I'm anti letting people know where I am,
where you are. Yeah,
because like that's how people break into your house.
Yes,
thank you for 100% knowing, understanding that, because some people are like, what are you talking about? Like, you're a social media person. Like, shouldn't you just be like on social media all the time? I'm like,
no.
The people
usually when I go places, I'll share it that night or later, you know, after the fact I've been there. So
yeah, and when I'm home.
And when you're, exactly.
Yeah. So if someone wants to break into my house and steal my student debt, they can at least know that when they walk through the door, they're gonna see me in my like in my unicorn onesie being like, sup. What are you gonna steal? My student, like, yeah, you steal. You get to steal my mom answering. I'm sure your laptop like is better. You steal my TV upstairs. It's like a 39-inch. And it's not even a smart TV. So like, what are you gonna do?
Maybe they'll want your headphones.
Maybe. Oh my God. Fun story, fun side exit. So when I would deal with a company in California, a guy looked to me and said, wow, like, because he knows what these headphones are. He's like, wow, like how do you make enough money to make those? Is literally what he asked me.
What?
And I was like, I make more money than you.
You're like,
that's so like weird to say to somebody, because like
no, that's not
or the best situation. I was in the midst of doing this really important pitch meeting, and I had these on because everyone thinks that like they're so funny, and they started to light up because I've turned off the lighting feature unless I specifically want them to light up, and I'm just in the midst, and it has like the police colors, the red, blue, and white, and it's just continuously going. And they're like, I think she's got a good idea, and I'm just like, yes.
Your brain powered it more.
I couldn't stop them from going off.
That's funny. I do always feel a little weird like wearing big headphones when it's like you're doing like a meeting or something and they're just wearing AirPods. You're like, oh, hi. Yeah, I'll have over the ear because I want to like not hear anything. And I don't like in the ear is like weird, and then the ones that are smaller,
and then you take it out and you have like 6 years of earwax in there.
Oh yeah.
And anyways, I feel like that's the best way to end this on earwax. Anyway,
it's been great. Thanks for having me.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much for like. I honestly, when I asked you, I was like, I hope she says yes. I was like,
I almost said no just because of my own anxiety. But
you fooled me. You absolutely fooled me. You were cool, calm, and collective. I
put literally off a good front, I think.
Yeah, I'm like literally sweating right now. Like my back is just drenched. I mean, it is. I know you're in California, so it's like always super warm and hot there. But
it's actually started raining for the first time, and it's like, oh my God, it's raining.
Oh my God, it's 25.
Weather has changed. Two weeks ago it was 115, and now it's raining and 70.
Okay, hold on. Sorry, because the rest of the world's on Celsius. Okay,
Celsius.
so what 15? I'm pretty sure that's what, like 42, 43 Celsius.
Yeah, 40 something.
So today here
Hot.
it's like 87, 88. That's
Okay.
very hot.
That is warm for you, I would assume.
For especially right now. Like, so like tonight it will go down to,
it'll get cold at night though.
5 degrees. So you'll start at 5, and like when I go to work, when it's a 5, it's like 5 or 6 degrees. I'll be 19 to 25 throughout the day, and then when I get home, it's like 15. And then again, because we have a frost warning in for effect tonight, and I'm like, frost. How would we have frost? I'm literally t-shirts and shorts. It's hot. But yeah, that's literally Ontario Falls, baby. We could have snow at any time. That's literally, it could snow, rain, and have a 30-degree day in the same week. That's just how unpredictable the weather is.
That's insane. No, I don't get snow where I live, but we're lucky if we get rain, and then it's usually just warm and mild.
I will take warm and mild. You don't have to shovel warm and mild.
No, I've never had to shovel snow in my life.
You've never had to shovel snow in your life? Oh my god.
It's like I mean, I can drive an hour up the mountain and go to snow, but anywhere I've lived, no. I know.
So I mean, the downside is you don't have snow days. We have snow days. Yeah. No, I mean, like we can't physically go to work because there's too much snow days.
Yeah.
Or I just like it when it's like pretty. And then like everyone who's
I love how snow looks. I love it. But I think living in it, I probably would hate it more.
Because it's so cold, because it like blows in your face. And then the worst thing is when it blows down your back. Because when you're shoveling, right? Because like for us, we only have a small. Yeah. So now we have a pushing shovel, which is like the best invention. Also designed by a woman, but best invention ever, obviously, because it was a woman that designed it. But yeah, so you push it through and you put it down. But yeah, it's like it will get behind your back or in your boots. Yep.
Yeah. That's no fun.
Anyways, I feel like now we should definitely. I couldn't edit on
Are we actually ending, or
I'm so sorry. I'm like the worst at
you're
editing.
good.
I'm so the worst at editing this. But anyways, absolute pleasure. Please go follow her. Again, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you.
You are very, very welcome.